It makes it hard to get in and out because it's slippery as hell. But what I'm getting at is that we had 2.5 feet come down in a day's time. That is really interesting. The other thing is last March, okay, our typical weather in March is in the 40s, okay, and we had 91 degrees for one day.
Wow.
Just pop out one day. And last year and the year before that, I got a fish pond by my house. Not a small one, but a medium-sized one. Every year, the fish pond would freeze, and we would bet. I wonder how many fish will come back to life when it thaws out. Well, then 2 years in a row, I didn't even get any ice on the fish pond during the winter. Or if I did, it was so freaking thin, it was like gone within an hour or two when I got up. Now, again, the thing is like frozen solid. The weather has changed again. We had the vortex come in on the East Coast and slowly work across the country. The magnetic field, they're having to input all that information from the satellites for GPS on a daily basis for even the planes, for your cell phones. We're only talking about moving a foot or two a year now. What I read, it was like 300 feet. It moved in a year. Are we close to a magnetic flip? What if that happens? What's going to happen?
I think that could cause a lot of electrical problems or magnetic problems. For sure. Well, if it causes magnetic problems, there'll be no vehicles running, I don't believe, or close to it.
Oh, yeah. And Eric said it snowed again last night. It's supposed to snow again up here where I'm at this coming Sunday again. Oh, I hope not. But it's scary what is going on. And people, I don't know. I think we got a lot of things on our plate that we need to really sit down and really think over. People need to do a couple things before I get off of here. One is build yourself up some food, that not a day or a week's worth in your cupboards. Have enough type of canned good foods because in case you lose your electricity, that you can feed yourself and your family for at least a month or more. Have water, storage, enough water to survive for that same amount of time. Be prepared because, we don't know what's going to happen from day to day because things can happen and people aren't prepared. And be prepared in case you lose your grid system for a day, a week, or years, who knows. But, again, I do think that the smart move and it would be to have some weapons and ammo, stuff to protect you and your loved ones. Because I tell you, if something ever went down, it's not going to be very long that shit's going to hit the fan. And the government can sit there and say, oh, we don't need this, you don't need that. But again, think about it, people. If the grid system goes down, what's going to happen to our society? That's what I'm going to say this, and then we're going to get out of here. I don't understand all this money that the government spends on this, that, or whatever to build an aircraft carrier. Why don't they put the money into our grid system? Do we need that extra submarine right now? Or do we put the money into a grid system to protect our society? Come on. Something is weird here going on. I don't understand it. Do they want to see a population decrease like 60% or more?
I think there is a conspiracy. I think they do want a population decrease. I really do.
Yeah.
That's been a conspiracy for years.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, if it's coming close because one of these days, that we're going to get hit with something, either man-made or, out from freak of nature. And then what are we going to do? I mean, think about this. That 1 week I was without internet, without my satellite to do my show, and my power was going off like you wouldn't believe, and how cold my house got inside really fast. Okay, I remember covering up with about 8 blankets at night trying to stay warm. What scares me is that if something happened, I mean, what are we going to do? What are you going to do? I mean, what's the average? Oh, they have no internet. They have no TV. They can't cook their microwave food. Oh, my God. I went stir crazy, people, after after 2 days, I couldn't get on the internet. I couldn't watch TV. It was like, oh my God, I'm watching movies from Disneyland that my daughter, when she was young, watching on when we had the power, because I didn't have anything good to watch. And I'll tell you, oh man, you talk about cabin fever.
I bet you did. I bet you did. And you know what? People need to store fresh water. That's for starters.
I got 100-gallon barrel that I drain out every month and refill. We're on a well system, but I just in case, the grid system goes down, I want to still have water to drink. And I certainly, want to occasionally flush the toilet, even if I have no water, because I can't stand the smell of stale pee, I'll tell you that. But, I would like to, at least clean up and get the dirt off my face. People need to think about all that stuff. You're not going to have any water. You're not going to have anything. You're not going to be able to flush your toilet. You're not going to be able to heat your house, and you're not going to be able to go to Safeway and buy food. So, be prepared, okay? And then also be prepared about, having at least a gun or two and some ammo, because somebody might like what you have more than, you realize. So that's what we have to look at. And all this started because somebody stole my show and put their name on it. You know that?
Dang it. What's going on? That was the sign of the apocalypse right there.
Yeah. Well, you don't steal my show and my hard work and put your name on it, people. I'll tell you, I'll go after you.
I'm sure not going to do it, that's for sure.
Yeah. I'll stand up and be a comedian, all right? That's no problem. And you know what? That butthead said, he didn't like doing the show on the network because we talk about UFOs. He doesn't believe in the paranormal, but guess what? He's a psychic, he's a medium, and he charges people up to $100 an hour to do a reading. Now, if that isn't in the paranormal, people, what is?
That's a good point.
Well, you're a medium. Don't you classify that as being paranormal?
Yeah, I think, to me, it falls under the category of paranormal. UFOs paranormal, spirits paranormal. If you're talking to spirits, that's paranormal. It's not a science that's down where you got paperwork and data. Not at this day and age yet. So it would be falling under the paranormal category for sure.
Oh yeah. And Eric, I thought you were supposed to go get food or something. I just noticed you're still on. Now you need to get me on your show one at a time. I've been doing paranormal since 1976. I'm a walking encyclopedia on paranormal and Bigfoot and UFOs and all this stuff. This brain, and all the off hours of, when Art wasn't on the phone and he was coming up with ideas, for shows, and we would kind of talk off and on and say, hey, this might be a good, and he go, okay, we'll do it. I'm going to say something else on here. Okay. I get a kick out of people posting every so often on Facebook about Mel's Hole up in Ellsberg. Okay. Never happened, people. There is no Mel's Hole. I'm going to burst your bubble. Okay. There is, trust me, there's no Mel's Hole. If there is, it's the one where by my septic tank is, and that's a hell's hole in my backyard. Because it was a good buddy of Art, a ham buddy, and Art liked taking, he loved entertainment. He loved doing what he did. But occasionally he liked going to, the next level and having a little bit of fun because he classified it as entertainment. Mel's Hole, they did it. People ate it up and bought it. So that's when Mel came back on the second time, and they even did it about, in the same state, basically, as Art was living in, about not another Mel's Hole, but another hole that this Indian tribe had. And they pulled up and they put a goat down it, right? And all of a sudden, when they brought the goat back up, right? The goat was like hard as it could be. And then they cut it open or whatever, and like a penguin type of creature came out of it. And Art did that because he really wanted. He couldn't believe that the people believed in Mel's hole so much. They came up with this whole idea to create something even more ludicrous, and the people believed it too. And I remember even talking to Art back. Oh God, before he passed on, we were just kind of talking about some stuff in the past of our lives. And he brought all that up. He goes, that was his biggest thing other than the flyby over Area 51 was another one, another ham buddy. And people, bought that. And the funny thing is, like that, Art said that when they did that little thing, I don't know if you ever heard it, where the guy got in his experimental plane and flew over Area 51 and this big cannon-like thing came out of the ground and a fighter, jet came up to it and they were going to shoot him down. Well, then all of a sudden, while this guy's in his airplane, say, "Oh my God, they're starting to shoot at me," right? You heard the sound effects of a cannon going off, boom, boom, boom. You're not going to hear that up in the air on an airplane, an experimental airplane making noise. It was sound effects they put in, and guess what? People bought that too. So they bought it, and it's so people are so naive, and that's what I'm getting at. The whole thing is people are naive and they believe this stuff, and it is so interesting that I don't know. I like doing my show, and I like having good guests on. Do I believe what every guest says on the show? Hell no. But am I going to sit there and say, hey, your story is full of shit? I'm not going to say that.
Well,
I look at.
I know your trigger words.
Warm, fuzzy, and orbs.
Orbs.
Okay, well, another couple more minutes. I'm going to sum this all up, okay? I seen, and I don't care if you believe me or not, if you want to pay for a lie detector test, or if you want to put in truth serum, okay, into my blood, okay, I will do it if you pay for it. I saw a Bigfoot up in the Canadian Rockies in 2002 with a friend of mine who was a medical doctor who just finished his internship. His father was a Superior Court judge in Pierce County. His brother was a very well-known attorney in criminal law in Tacoma, Washington. I'm saying too much. But I tell you, we saw a Bigfoot, okay? And they're not what I see on all this media, okay? On Facebook, people post pictures of Bigfoot, or they give off orbs. They're here to protect people. They love people. They're not like that, people. I'm telling you right now. Are you going to go find one if you go out your backyard and you live near a forest? I don't think so. We were up in the middle of the Canadian Rockies away from people, miles and miles and miles away. We weren't looking for Bigfoot. We were naive. We had no guns, no weapon, no beer. Oh, that beer would have been good. A bear spray, right? No, nothing. And I didn't even realize there were bears there and they ate people. Because, we found out a week before that somebody in the area, a guy's wife was ate by a bear. Okay, or half ate by a bear. Okay, I know what a Bigfoot looks like. I know how they run. I saw how it reacted. I saw what it did. And I know how they smell. And I know that after my tour over in Vietnam, nothing scared me more than what I ran into. I haven't peed my pants, well, twice. Once going over the Narrows Bridge. I have to admit that that's in Tacoma, going over the peninsula. We were stuck in stop-by traffic for like 4 or 5 hours, and I couldn't hold it. Okay, I peed my pants. I'm sorry, people. But, I haven't peed my pants since I was like in grade school. Okay, like in first grade or whatever. I was so scared when I was running that I urinated in my pants, okay? I'm sorry. I was scared. And I can honestly tell you that all these people who claim they, Bigfoot are friendly and give off orbs, or they communicate with them, for the back of their head or their neck, and they're sending off these loving orbs. I don't know what they're smoking, or drinking, or shooting up.